Hello, welcome to another video on your YouTube channel, Tech Talk with Niket. In this video, we're going to look at showme, the place where you will get all the visuals available by default in Tableau. We'll work on how to create these charts, when to use these charts, things to keep in mind when you use them, and many more. Let's get started. I'm using orders table, which is available by default when you use Tableau Desktop. Showme is something that you can find on the top right hand side of the screen. You can click on it to get the 24 visuals available by default in Tableau. When you hover on any of the visual, you will get the requirement right at the bottom over here. Like for text table, the requirement is one or more dimensions and one or more measures. So for all the charts that we're going to work on, I'll hover on them and you can refer to this bottom section to understand the requirement for each chart. Let's start with the text table. To create a text table, I will use something like category, subcategory, sales, and let me take ship mode as well. I'll click on text table over here and I'll get a view something like this. I'll fit it for the entire view for a better representation. You can try creating this chart or you can pause this video to try it later. Now, the text table that you see over here is similar to the Excel text table that you have. One might say that this is not a great visual, but it's very helpful when you want to look at individual numbers, when you want to pull the data and just try to understand what is happening over there. Very helpful when you want to make analysis or show just the numbers in tabular format. That is about text table. Let's look at the next one, which is a heat map. The requirement for a heat map is one or more dimensions, one or two measures. I'll create a heat map where I'll pick something like ship mode, I'll take region, and I'll take sales. I'll go and click on heat map. Please note, right now I have selected only one measure, whereas you can have two measures in the heat map. I'll tell you how you can use it. Right now over here, you can see that we have ship mode and region available over here. The size of the box is representing the sales over here. That means larger the box, more the sales, and vice versa. We can add another measure over here, like profit, and I can drag and drop it to color. And the moment I do that, things change. So now you can see, not just the size, the color of the box also represents something over here, and that is profit. In this manner, you can create a heat map where you want to show or give visual cues by using the size and the color and use that along with the measure. That's how you can create a heat map. Next, we have a highlight table. The requirement for a highlight table is one or more dimensions, one measure. Now let me give you an example where you can use a highlight table. What if I give you a big table and I want you to identify which one is having maximum sales? You might not go with a heat map because as you can see over here, we have a lot of values, but that is still readable. In case if you have to scroll down, you might not get the exact sense in case if you have to analyze it on the basis of size. But this can be answered by using a highlight table. Let's say if I want to see which state is having maximum profit, I can select state like this and I can click on profit and I'll use the highlight table in this manner, something like this. And you can see over here, each box is having the profit number. Along with that, the box is also color coded on the basis of the profit value that is there. So this will help you in highlighting the data and tell a story altogether. Something which is similar to conditional formatting, if you are familiar with that in Excel. So you can do it over here. Next, we have symbol map. The requirement for a symbol map is one geographical value, 0 or more dimensions, 0 to 2 measures. In this condition, I'll create a simple symbol map where I'll take something like state, I'll take sales, and I'll take quantity. I'll go to show me and I'll click on symbol map like this. Since it's a map, and maps are very useful because they add a lot of visual content to your data, and not just that, maps are very intuitive as well. So whenever you have any geographical value in your data, and if it is possible, I will highly recommend you to try a map for your dashboard. Now you can see over here, each of the state is now having a circle representing the quantity and the sales. The quantity is shown by the size and the sales is represented by color. I can increase and decrease the size, something like this, based on my requirement. At times, you might have to change the location. You might have to edit the location based on whatever your base location and the data that you're using. You can do that by going to the menu bar over there, clicking on map, and then clicking on edit location to perform that activity. So symbol maps are very cool way of showing how you want to show geographical values. And you can also use map layers to create other visual effects like removing the coastlines, adding borders, roads, so on and so forth. Next, we have filled map. The requirement for a map or a filled map is one geographical dimension, 0 or more dimensions, 0 or 1 measure. Please keep in mind, for symbol maps, we were having 0 to 2 measures, and over here, we have 0 or 1 measure. I'm going to create a map over here. And this time I'll select state, and I'll pick only one measure. That will be profit. And now when I click on map, I'll get a view something like this. Now over here, the states are color coded on the basis of profit that is there. And you can see the negatives are shown in orange or shades of orange, and the positives are shown in shades of blue along with gray. You can also add text over here. So all you have to do is just drag profit and drop it to label so that each state will have the relevant profit number along with the state. Again, a very cool way of showing the data where you have state or where you have a geographical value and you can bring that to tell a story. Next, we have a chart which is not liked by a lot of people, and that is a pie chart. I've seen a lot of people who are confused about how to read a pie chart. So a quick suggestion in my opinion, in case if you're wondering whether you should go with a pie chart or maybe a bar chart or something else, I would recommend you can skip the pie chart, but depends on your audience as well. So the requirement for a pie chart is one or more dimensions, 1 or 2 measures. I'll create a simple pie chart where I'll take something like segment and quantity, and I'll click on pie chart like this. I can increase the size of this pie chart by clicking over here and clicking on entire view. Now you can see that my pie chart is distributed or divided on the basis of segment, and each color is showing the segment. Along with that, a pie is also representing the sum of quantity. Over here, if you'll observe, there are 1 or 2 measures. You can add more layers to it by using size and bringing any other dimension in rows or columns. Let me show it to you. Something like this, or you can have it in this manner. Now over here, the size represents the size of the quantity for that particular category. So Larger the size, that means more the quantity. Smaller the size means less quantity. So in this manner, you can create a pie chart. Next, we have horizontal bars, something which is used a lot and something which is, I believe, the most common kind of visual. Still very relevant, still very useful. To create a horizontal bar chart, in fact, I'll just call it as bars because we'll see how we can convert a horizontal into a vertical. The requirement is 0 or more dimensions, 1 or more measures. I'll make a simple horizontal bar chart where I'll take something like, let's say, ship mode and sales. Go to show me and click on horizontal bar chart. I'll fit it for the entire view and you can have a view something like this. You can do a lot of variations in bar charts. You can add text or labels to it at different positions. You can increase and decrease the width of the bars. You can add colors to the bar. You can add color on the basis of measure and a lot of things that you can do on a bar chart. But one quick question. Right now it's a horizontal bar chart. What if I want to convert it into a vertical bar chart? How can we do that? You know what? Why don't you try it and answer it in the comment section over here. I'll leave it to you guys. And in case if you don't get it, you can drop that message in the comment section and I'll revert to you. So let's look at the next one. The next chart that we have is a stacked bar. The requirement is 1 or more dimensions, 1 or more measures. I'll be creating a stacked bar where I'll take category, subcategory, and sales. Click over here and I'll click on stacked bar chart. I can increase the width. I don't want to set it to the entire view this time, so I'm going to do it something like this and I'll rename it. Now you have a stacked bar chart over here. In a stacked bar chart, you can see that you can compare the categories. Along with that, you can also compare the subcategory that is there. So it allows us to see more details than a regular bar chart will provide it to us. And you can also see a part and a whole of it as well. You can bring in text over here, add it to labels. You can add measures and drop it to labels. And you can do a lot of variations in a stacked bar chart. One quick question over here. You see this dark green? That's for bookcases. And you see this color, which is for furnishing. Can I say that bookcases is having more sales than furnishing? Is it true? Think about it. Next chart that we have to look at is a side-by-side bar chart. And to create this chart, you will require 1 or more dimensions, 1 or more measures, and at least 3 fields. So let's see how we can use it. And I'll use the same example where I'm taking category and subcategory to create the side-by-side bar chart. Category, subcategory, sales. And I'll create a side-by-side bar chart. One quick tip, team, and that is whenever you're done with show me, just click on it to hide it so that you can see what is behind it. At times, filters, legends, all these values are right behind it and we miss it. So better click on show me once when you're done with it. And over here, you have a side-by-side bar chart where you can look at the values, you can analyze them in a side-by-side manner. You can use colors to view it, you can use size to view it, and you can add text as well to enhance your analysis and your visuals as well. So that is about side-by-side bar chart. Next, we have a tree map. And the requirement for a tree map is 1 or more dimensions, 1 or 2 measures. Let's create a tree map and see how we can use it where you want to show various values in a single go. I'll take something like category over here. I'll take subcategory and I'll take sales. So right now I'm using only one measure. You can have more than one measure as well. And I'll show you how you can take advantage of that. I'm going to show it to you something. I'm going to create something like this and I'll fit it for the entire view. Now you can see you have different sections. This is the first section, which is this is one section which is talking about office supplies. We have another section which is for technology. You see this thick white line over here, and then you have a furniture over here, and then you also have subsections within technology, furniture, and office supplies, talking about the subcategories that are there. More like a branch structure that you have in a tree. Okay, and now the color and the size of each of the box over here shows us the sales. We can also take advantage of the color property over here, just like the way we did it in a heat map. And I can bring in something like profit, drag and drop it over here to color, and there you go. Cool, isn't it? So this is a place where you can give a part to whole relationship, more like in a tree structure where you can also show hierarchy, like the way we have it over here. And it is ideal to show large amount of information in a single visualization. And it's very similar to heat map, but the values are grouped over here. So that is the tree map for you. Next, we have circle views. The requirement for circle views is one or more dimensions, one or more measures. Let's create a simple one to see how you can make a circle view. I'll take segments, I'll take ship mode, and I'll take quantity with me. And I'll click on circle view like this. I'll fit it for the entire view in this manner. And there you go. So you have the circle views being created for ship modes and segments, showing the quantity over here. Now it is good for comparative analysis where you want to compare the values. And one very cool thing that you can do over here is you can change the type. You can customize it in different ways. You can show it in form of triangles. You can show it in form of circles, filled images, and a lot more. In case if you're wondering how to add a custom shape, click on the I button over here. And it will take you to the video where you can see how to add custom shapes as well. So this is the circle view for you. Next, we have side-by-side circle view or side-by-side circles. The requirement for side-by-side circles is one or more dimensions, one or more measures, and it requires at least 3 fields. So I'll take the same example. I'll take ship mode, segment, quantity, and I'll create a side-by-side circles like this. This is much better where you have all the values segregated and you can compare them together. So let's say if I want to compare standard class, I can view it over here where you have all the standard class values. I can look at the first class as well. So as the values are in side-by-side manner, thus it is called as side-by-side circles. You can compare the measures and you can also change the shape as per your requirement. So with this, we've closed half of the charts that are available in showme, and we come to an end for our part 1. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like it. Also, please share and subscribe. And in case if you have any questions or suggestions, do mention it in the comment section. See you again in the part 2 video for the remaining charts that are available under showme. Till then, stay safe and happy learning.